Hello, my dears. How are you doing today? Well, Grandma wants to read you a story from the Children's Book of Heroes. This is a book that I read stories to my kids when they were little. So this is from a long time ago. This story that I want to read you today is about Jackie Robinson. It is the story of an American hero who won his fight using self-control. Often, bravery means keeping your cool and doing your best in a bad situation. More than anything else, Jackie Robinson loved to play baseball, and he was good at it. In fact, he was great. He could run like lightning, and he could hit the ball a mile. Well, maybe not quite. He's a good hitter. And like any other young player, he dreamed of playing baseball in the big leagues in front of thousands of cheering fans. But there was one problem. The year was 1943, and Jackie Robinson was Black. It was a time in America when Black people were not allowed to do many things that white people could do. That was the rule in baseball, too. Black people were not allowed to play on major league teams. They had their own baseball league called the Negro Leagues. Jackie played for a Negro League team called the Kansas City Monarchs. But one day, the man who ran a major league team called the Brooklyn Dodgers asked Jackie to come and see him. His name was Branch Rickey. "I've heard what a good player you are," Mr. Rickey said. "I want you to play for our team." Jackie could barely believe it. Would he really be the first Black baseball player to make the big leagues? "This will not be easy," Mr. Rickey went on. "There will be many, many people who will not want you to play for the Dodgers. Some of the players will call you dirty names. There will be fans in the stands who will yell awful things at you. Even some of the umpires will be against you and will not give you fair calls." "I can take it," Jackie said. "You have to do more than that," Mr. Rickey told him. "You'll have to take it quietly. You cannot shout back. You cannot lose your temper and get into a fight. That's just what they want you to do. It will give them an excuse to throw you out of baseball. No, you must have the guts to fight back another way. The only way you can win this fight is by keeping your temper and playing the best baseball you can." There's more than one way to win a fight. You have to show them what a great player you are. That's how you will win this fight. Jackie thought it over. It would not be an easy thing to do. At last, he looked Mr. Rickey straight in the eye. "I'll do it," he said. "I promise." Mr. Rickey sent him to practice for a while with a Dodger farm team called the Montreal Royals. Every bad thing that Mr. Rickey had talked about came true, and more. Some of the other players said ugly things to him. Some refused to stand on the same field with him. Newspapers claimed he would not be able to play baseball well enough to stay on a white team. He was locked out of baseball parks. In one town, a policeman even threatened to arrest him if he did not leave the field. These things hurt Jackie's feelings deeply. Sometimes they made him so angry he wanted to raise his fists and strike back. But he remembered the promise he had made, and he kept his cool. That would be a really hard thing to keep your cool when people are being so mean to you. During Jackie Robinson's first game as a Montreal Royal, all eyes were on him. He knew how much was riding on that game, and it made him feel weak in the knees. But when his turn came, he stepped up to the plate and swung with all his might. The crowd heard the crack of the ball and watched the ball fly. The crack of the bat, I should say, and watched the ball fly and fly and fly right over the outfield wall. Jackie rounded the bases, and everyone knew then that he had come to play great baseball. The next year, Jackie went to play with the Dodgers. He was in the big leagues at last, no more farm team. But his troubles did not end. In fact, they only got worse. Fans jeered him and even threatened to harm him. Pitchers threw balls straight at him, trying to hit him. Players shoved him on the field or stepped on his feet at first base where he played. But through it all, Jackie stayed calm and played great baseball. One day, one of Jackie's teammates, a shortstop named Pee Wee Reese, trotted across the field to chat with Jackie. He put a friendly hand on Jackie's shoulder while he talked, and a photographer took a picture of the two men together. Newspapers all over the country carried the shot. The message was clear. There were white players who liked Jackie and knew he was a great player and were ready to have him on their team. They did not care about the color of his skin. The more Jackie played, the more respect he won. There were still plenty of people who gave Jackie trouble simply because he was black. But as more and more people watched him play, they saw that he was good enough to be on any team. At the end of his first year with the Dodgers, Jackie was named Rookie of the Year, the best new player in the league. He had shown the world that the color of his skin did not matter. What mattered was his skill with the bat and the ball, and his courage to lead the way. You see that picture of Jackie? And so he showed courage, which is a great virtue. He showed self-control, which is another great virtue. Things that true heroes have, because he led the way. And now there are many Black people who play on baseball teams and all sorts of other teams too, where once upon a time they weren't allowed. But he led the way by his example. Grandma hopes that you also will lead the way by your example and help people to be kind and to make good choices. Well, remember, Grandma loves you. I'll tell you some more later.